They replaced me with a rookie, then lost everything.
They said I was too slow for the job, too old to keep up with the road. So they replaced me with a rookie. But when the brakes failed on a black stretch of Highway 67, the only thing that saved him was the old man they replaced. This isn't fiction. This is karma. Real people, real consequences. You're watching real-life karma TV. And tonight, we don't just talk about speed. We talk about weight. The kind that breaks axles, breaks pride, and sometimes breaks people. My name is Frank Miller. 32 years on the road. Enough miles to circle the earth more times than I care to count. I've hauled furniture, steel coils, frozen meat, whatever kept the lights on. I used to say, trucks move America, but patience keeps it alive. At Cedar Freight Lines, I wasn't just a driver. I was the one who'd show new hands how to read the wind on an empty plane, how to feel a brake line before it failed, how to listen to the engine like a heartbeat.
And then came Maria Lopez. She used to be a driver too, thousands of miles before they pulled her into dispatch. Not because she wanted a desk, because someone thought her brain was better used on paper than on asphalt. Maria knew the road. She knew drivers. And she knew what management never seemed to learn. Respect keeps more trucks alive than any spreadsheet. Then came Kyle Reed, 24, fresh out of driving school, a smile like he'd never missed a gear in his life. He called me sir the first time we met, then called me old man the second time. Not out of malice, out of youth. Maria introduced us in the yard. Frank keeps half of you alive out there, she told the rookies. Listen before you learn the hard way. Kyle laughed. I'll be fine, he said. Trucks are trucks. I've got reflexes. I looked at Maria, and she looked back. A silent conversation we'd both had with the road. The new manager, Evan Price, liked buzzwords more than torque specs. He wanted efficiency. He wanted fresh energy.
He wanted numbers that made shareholders smile. So one morning, he gave my route, the long westbound haul with the brutal downhill on 67, to Kyle. And to make it sting less, he told me, Frank, take a couple of short locals. Think of it as mentoring from the ground. Maria didn't buy it. She cornered me near dispatch. Those brakes have been running hot, she said softly. I logged it twice. They signed off, but the drums need a closer look. I nodded. Did you tell Evan? She exhaled. Twice. Paper says service okay. My gut says otherwise. I found Kyle by the rig, my rig, the one I'd nursed across snow and summer, sleep and storms. He was tightening straps like he was racing a clock. Easy, I told him. Loads fertilizer. She shifts if you brake wrong on a grade. He smirked, good-natured. I passed my inclines, Frank. Yeah, I said quietly. But the hill didn't grade you. Maria handed Kyle a printout. Watch your temps on the descent. Radio if you smell anything sweet or burning.
Kyle rolled his eyes, just a flicker, Copy that, he said. I watched the truck pull away, diesel humming like a living thing, and I felt something I rarely felt on open roads. Dread. The week Kyle took my route, I ran short locals, warehouse to rail yard, yard to grocer. Simple work. Work that leaves you alone with your thoughts. Every stop, I checked my phone. No calls, no messages. Just the feeling of something tightening in the chest, like a strap pulled one notch too far. Maria texted me midweek. Temps trending high on the 67 descent. Logged again. Evan wants to monitor. Monitor. That's what people say when they want to do nothing with a nicer word. I called Maria. You smell anything yet? Not me, she said. But a way station flagged the drums. Readings were borderline. Evan cleared it, said it passes. On paper, I said. On paper, she echoed.
Friday evening. Rain moved in. Thin, cold. The kind that doesn't fall so much as it hangs in the air. Kyle was scheduled westbound. Heavy load, same descent. Maria pinged the group channel. All westbound, caution on 67 grade. Keep gears low, watch temps. Evan added a thumbs up emoji. I added a prayer. Around midnight, I pulled into a diner off County 12, ordered coffee, and listened to the hum of truckers telling lies about miles. Then my phone rang. Maria. Frank, he's late on the check-in. He could have lost signal. I know, she said, breath tight. But he's never late on the marker. And weather's slick. I was already standing. Text me his last ping. She did. A dot. Drifting toward the descent. I hit the road. The rain made the asphalt shine like it had teeth. Near the top of 67, I smelled it. That sweet, metallic ghost that tells you something's burning where it shouldn't. I radioed. Westbound Cedar, this is Miller. Rookie, you copy? Silence. Then a cracked voice, thin with panic. Brakes are spongy. Temps red. Downshift, I barked. Let the engine hold you. Too late! She's pulling. Load's shifting. Feather it. Don't ride it. Short pumps. No stomp. Eyes up. His breath shattered over the radio. Frank, I'm sorry. And then the night split open with a noise you don't forget. Steel giving up on physics. By the time I reached him, lights were already painting the rain red and blue. The rig lay sideways. Trailer kinked like a broken arm. Maria arrived seconds after, hair soaked, eyes on fire.
She had the maintenance folder in her hand. Plastic sleeve, printed logs, 2 signatures that said, "Service okay." She looked at me, not blinking. "I told them," she whispered. "I told them twice." I put a hand on her shoulder. "We tell them again," I said. "Only this time, we won't use the radio." Paramedics pulled Kyle out, alive, by inches and luck, and maybe something kinder than the weather. He looked at me through blood and rain. "Old man," he exhaled, a ghost of a smile. "You were right." I squeezed his hand. "Now live long enough to say it again." By sunrise, the rain turned into that pale morning fog that makes sirens sound farther than they are. Kyle was in surgery. I waited with Maria under a buzzing hospital light that made tired people look even more tired.
She laid the maintenance folder across her lap. Tabs, dates, signatures. Twice, she'd logged brake temps trending high on the 67 descent. Twice the line read, "Service okay." "Who signed it?" I asked. She pointed to Evan Price and a contractor's initials I didn't recognize. "Even escalated it to a third-party shop," she said. "Shop cleared it in 20 minutes without a road test." I rubbed my jaw. "Paper safety," I murmured. "Real danger." Maria looked at me, eyes steady, voice low. "I won't let this be written off as driver error. Not again." Around 9, Avon swept into the waiting room with a fresh shirt and a stale apology. "Maria, Frank, rough night. I'll handle the statements." Maria didn't stand. She simply opened the folder to the flagged logs. "Handle these first," she said. He skimmed, jaw tightening. "Let's not jump to conclusions," he replied. "Driver behavior matters. Maybe speed." "Speed didn't sign these," I said, tapping the service okay line.
Evan's smile thinned. "We'll coordinate a message for the insurer. Less noise, more alignment." Maria's voice went flat and precise. "Alignment is for axles. I prefer truth for statements." Maria wasn't loud. She was methodical. She forwarded the flagged logs to the insurer, the yard manager, and legal with a simple subject line: "Prior brake temperature alerts, Unit 47, same route, same grade." Attached were time-stamped photos, heat shimmer on drums, a handheld infrared reading, and a way station report marked borderline. She copied me. She did not copy Evan. "Paper trails save lives," she said to me afterward. "Sometimes not in time, but they save the next one." I nodded. "Truth is a kind of brake, too," I said. "It slows the lies before they tip a rig."
Late afternoon, Kyle woke up, wired, pale, but stubbornly alive. Maria and I stood on either side of his bed, two pillars holding up a roof that had caved in. He swallowed. Brakes went soft. I tried to ride them. I said gently, "Don't ride. Feather. Short pumps. Low gear. Let the engine pray for you." He nodded, eyes watering. "I heard you on the radio. Did what you said. If I'd stomped, I wouldn't be here." Maria leaned in. "Did you smell anything before the descent?" Kyle frowned. "Sweet, like syrup. Thought it was just the diner." Maria and I traded a look. "Hot brake fluid," Word spread faster than freight. Clients called. One asked the question that makes or breaks a company. Did you know? Maria didn't let the answer hide. Her email thread became a mirror. Every service OK line held up to every warning she had logged.
When truth lined up, lies fell over. Evan tried to manage the narrative. Conference calls, phrases like isolated incident, internal review, our commitment to safety. But karma doesn't read press releases. It reads patterns. Patterns of ignored alerts. Patterns of clearing service without a test. Patterns of letting fresh energy outrun old wisdom until the road collected its debt. Within 2 weeks, 2 clients paused contracts. Within a month, fuel bills choked margins. Insurance asked for every log on Unit 47. Maria didn't flinch. She uploaded the truth. All of it. Evan called me, voice suddenly careful. Frank, I need your statement. Emphasize the weather, the curve, anything but the brakes, I finished. Silence.
Evan, I said, calm as a long mile at dusk. The road forgives fewer lies than people do. Tell the truth. You might still have a company to save. He didn't. When the insurer reviewed Maria's thread, they didn't argue long. They flagged negligence, procedural, not personal. Coverage limited, payout delayed. Money leaves faster than it arrives. Cedar Freight Lines, a family name in 3 counties, filed for bankruptcy. Kyle watched the news from a hospital TV. He said nothing, just held the call button like a rosary and stared past the screen. I sat beside him. You didn't cause this, I said. Choices did. A week later, the yard was a sculpture garden of silent steel. Trucks lined like statues that used to breathe. I walked it one last time.
Maria met me by Unit 47. She placed a small envelope in my hand. Inside, a copy of the first flagged log, the IR thermometer photo, and a sticky note in her handwriting. The road remembers, so should we. I've been offered a role running safety at a regional carrier. They want real audits, real road tests. I smiled. Good. Make the spreadsheets listen to the asphalt. She glanced at the horizon, gray turning gold. And you? Short hauls, maybe teach rookies the long way that keeps them alive. Start with Kyle? She asked, a half smile. If he'll let an old man teach him how to feather instead of ride. We both laughed, the kind you earn after a storm. 3 months later, the leaves had started to turn. I was back on the highway, only shorter runs now. No company name painted on my cab, just my initials, FM.
They say when you drive long enough, the road becomes your mirror. You stop fighting the miles and you start learning from them. That's what I told Kyle the day I picked him up for his first run after rehab. He looked nervous, like a rookie all over again. His legs stiff, his confidence still wrapped in bandages. Ready? I asked. He smiled, small but real. Only if you're in the passenger seat. We took the Old West route, the one with the long downhill that started it all. Empty trailer this time. Halfway down, I told him, hands light, eyes far, engine steady. He followed, every move slow and measured. The truck purred instead of growled. At the bottom, he exhaled. Didn't even smell the brakes, he said, almost proud. That's because you respected them. The road only punishes arrogance. It spares those who listen. Later that week, Maria called. Her new title, Director of Safety Operations, Western Freight Cooperative. I told her she'd earned every syllable of it. She laughed. We're rolling out real brake drills now. Live temperature tests, field checks, no more shortcuts. Then she paused. Evan called me. I didn't say anything. He asked if I could write him a reference, said he's trying to get work with a startup fleet. I asked him what she told him.
She sighed softly. I told him karma already gave him a reference. Sometimes, karma doesn't strike loud. Sometimes it just writes your name on the lesson you refuse to learn. And that's exactly what it did. When people ask me now what I believe in, I don't say luck. I don't say fate. I say awareness. The road never punishes out of hate. It teaches through repetition until you finally listen. They replaced me with the rookie. They lost everything. But through it all, we found something better. Respect. Because karma doesn't want revenge. It wants awareness.
And once you learn the difference, you start driving life instead of being dragged by it. Every story you hear here is real, born from truth, paid for with consequence. Have you ever seen karma unfold right before your eyes? Tell us in the comments or send your story to reallifekarmatv@gmail.com. And if you believe real stories like this deserve to be told, like, share, and subscribe so these voices, these lessons, and these truths can keep traveling. Because what goes around always comes back around. Real stories, real consequences. This is Real Life Karma TV.